Welcome back, Infinite Ones. Life comes at you in waves. Understand that sometimes you might feel like you're on top of that wave, riding it, and you're on top of the world. But there are also going to be times where you're underneath the wave and it feels like all that's going to come down crashing on you. You need to have the lows to bounce back up to a higher high. That's why life's all about waves, baby. Take it in, accept it, learn from it. Today, we're going to talk about diet and why that word sucks. Actually, no, we're going to talk about eating habits and how to change certain things to get you on the right path, so to speak, so that you can maintain a new style of eating if you want these little changes to come into your life, whether you work out or not. Working out ultimately is going to make that a greater change. But the word diet, why do I not like that word? Because it's so temporary. To say, I'm going to be on a diet for the next 30 days, you're essentially saying that whatever little change or big change you're going to make, your goal is for 30 days. And after those 30 days, you're off your diet. And then you go back to your ways because you feel like you've accomplished, whether it's, hey, I wanted to lose 10 pounds in the 30 days, 15 pounds, 7 pounds, whatever it may be. Or maybe you wanted to fit in, that shirt that you couldn't fit in previously. The diet part of that, again, is so temporary to where you need to change that to where it's more so of your eating habits. Because that's the issue. It's the eating habits and not the totality of what you're eating. When you're eating, how much you're consuming while you're doing these things. And again, I promote to have some sort of activity in your life. You don't necessarily have to be in the gym. It'd be great if you were, but if for some reason you're not, whatever activity you can get into, whether it's walking outside, speed walking preferably, things that keep your heart rate going and get that blood circulating, get you, out of your comfort level, 3 or 4 times a week. I remember as a kid listening and hearing the grown-ups say, I got to get on my 30-day diet, or I got to go on a diet for the next 2 months. And, you pay no mind to that. You're just like, all right, cool, I guess. And you would see, they're eating salads at dinner and, things like that where really you're not fulfilling your hunger. You're not doing anything to elongate that style of eating. Nobody wants to eat a salad at the end of the night, for the most part. If you do, and if you have, great, awesome. But for the rest of you that don't indulge in salads, understand that it's the habits that you've created throughout, life, whether it was being used to eat a certain way as a kid. And what I mean by that is, you eat what your parents will give you. I don't know if you guys come from a household that, my background, it was, you get served whatever they made, and hey, would you like some more beans? Or, and it was always like, yeah, let's put some more on the plate. And that's how it was for everyone. And even more so when you're with like the grandmothers, the grandpas, they're not going to ask you. They're going to say, okay, here's your second plate. And that's cool. Those are good times, but these are the habits we develop, and then we start to create those for our children, and then it keeps going that way. Once in a while, it's okay to indulge in things that you really, really like. And if you're still hungry, but if you get used to eating this way, it's going to be normal for you to have double what you should have. Now, I mentioned this in my last video, where it's not about taking everything away that's not good for you and going cold turkey, because again, our eat habits, they are addictions. We're addicted to how we eat. The same way, somebody who smokes is addicted to cigarettes. You can't just take it all away. It's not going to work for the most part. I've never smoked. I don't smoke. So I don't know what that feels like. I don't, if someone's able to do that or not. But I guess just listening and hearing from afar, it's not something that you can attain as far as quitting cold turkey. Same thing if you indulge in alcohol. You can't just wake up one day and be like, yo, I'm not drinking alcohol for the rest of my life. And if you have and you did, hey, more power to you. But in reality, if you're used to drinking alcohol, you're not just going to stop and not ever do it again. But that's why we do everything in moderation. You can still have these things. You can still eat ice cream. You can still eat cake. You can still have donuts. Especially again, if you have a daily activity routine, whether it's gym or outside, whatever it is, weight training, a combination of weight training and a little bit of cardio is optimum. And that's my opinion based on the experiences and what I've done. That's optimum. Now, whatever it is that you do, that's again, that keeps you, keeps you going, keeps you moving. Where it sucks to do sometimes, but you just end up doing it anyways. That's the consistency. That is the drive that you have to understand that if you want to live a certain way, you have to do these things. One, to have a healthy body and to feel good. And two, so that you can eat these foods that you want to eat. I eat all those things. I eat cheeseburgers. I eat donuts. I eat candy bars, ice cream, pizza, all the things that you might say, well, he probably doesn't, he just eats, this, that, or the other. No, I've learned that because of how I work out, how much I can have, and everything is trial and error. Everything, that's why everything, when you start taking these things away, you are going to feel a certain way. You are going to understand, okay, I made the reference in the last video of, let's say, for example, you're used to eating 12 Snickers a week. And you can use that with roughly anything. Maybe you have 12 cans of soda a week, or you have 12 adult beverages every week. Things like that. 10 to 12 donuts a week. A whole pack of Oreos, the whole thing. I'm not saying to take those things away. No, that's not you have better options, but the best way to do it and to still keep your sanity and have it continue for the rest of your life is to, whatever that is that you're having 12 of every week, and it can be multiple things, a couple bags of chips a week, who knows, is to gradually take away the amount that you're having. So for example, you want to make this change. The first week you say, you know what, I'm not having these 12 Snickers anymore. I'm going to drop it down to 11. Hey, that's a win because you're gradually doing that. And I'm not saying take away one Snickers and then add a Hershey. That's not, no. Whatever you're having in totality, take a little bit away, and the following 2 weeks, same thing. Until you feel like, you know what, I can go the whole week with 2 Snickers, 2 cupcakes, 2 sodas. Or I can have, a Friday night where I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to have 5 or 6 drinks, adult beverages, whatever that is. I'm going to have me a pizza tonight. You can do those things as long as it's not like every other day or just random eating. But with that, the other choices that you have to change as well is to eat healthier foods. Foods rich in protein, fruits and vegetables. Carbs are not bad. It's the simple sugar carbs that are bad, those junk foods. But carbs, as far as like having sweet potato, rice, white rice, don't have brown rice. Do your own research, but don't eat brown rice. It's not as good for you as what you know that you've been told previously, if you've been told that. There's nothing wrong with having some avocado toast in the morning, toast in general. I've actually gotten to liking, having a couple slices of toast with some avocado, tomato. Let's go. That's good. And avocado is another good choice as it pertains to a fat. Don't be afraid of eggs. Eggs are good for you. It's a superfood. It's a power food. It's not what you were told when you were a kid, like, oh, you should only have 2 eggs a week because of the cholesterol. No, it's really good cholesterol. You need it. If you're into egg whites, even better. It just depends what you're looking for as far as what you want your body to look like. If people out there, you guys are competing, you guys already know what you got to do. That's going to be plain chicken or very low fat ground beef, ground turkey, your rices, your oatmeals, and you can make those things still fun. I did it. I have competed before. It's not something that I want to do ever again. To those of you that continue to do it, that's great. More power to you. That's awesome. I did it because I wanted to see what it felt like and how I can push my body and what I can, it's more of a mental thing. It's not even physical. It's a mental thing to say, what, I'm only going to eat this every single day. And you find ways to make things better. And some of those things you will carry on with you for the rest of your life. So it's good to do these trial and errors, but understand what are the things that you know are bad for you. Again, don't get rid of them. Or maybe, do like me. This is what I do. I eat pretty healthy for the most part, 5 to 6 days out of the week. If in between that week I'm feeling kind of like, man, I got to get something, maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday, I'll have a cheeseburger to kind of like keep the sanity going. Some fries, a soda. But then I'll also have that one day, which is, for the most part, on Sundays, where I will just go balls to the wall. Like hard. Everything that I wanted to eat during the week, but I didn't because I kept the consistency. I stayed dedicated to knowing that if I can just eat good these days, these other 5 or 6 days, that I can go all out on that Sunday. You can have your day where you can have, a couple cheat meals, or let's say you want a cheat meal and a dope ass dessert. That works. But you can't let it spill over to the next day or say, well, you know what, I'm going to do it 3 times a week, because no. Make the little changes. Learn to love healthy eating. It's gonna be better for you, for how you feel. It's gonna help how you look. It's gonna do a lot for you. Now, it's not gonna happen overnight. You can't say, well, I had some vegetables today, where's the change? No, it needs to be to where that's more often than not, and now it's part of your regimen. Having enough protein in your diet is vital as well. It helps maintain the muscle mass that you've developed throughout, your time, whether, again, you work out in the gym or not. I suggest you do go to the gym. I don't care what age you are, you can still go to the gym and do something and get consistent and get better and do things like that to just overall feel better. You don't got to go to the gym to be, Mr. Muscle Mag 2007. I don't even, you don't need to do that. If you can and you want to, that's up to you, but for the most part, it's like, stay active, understand what things are really hindering you. Don't lie to yourself. Don't say, I'm gonna have these 12 Snickers, I'm gonna take 2 away every 2 weeks. and then, have 6 when you're supposed to have 2, and be like, oh, I'm still on it, and be like, well, how come this changed? How come that changed? No, man, just like anything. If you want to see better results, you need to tighten up your system. Everything in life is like that. Tighten up the little holes that you have in whatever you're trying to get to, whatever distractions. Bad foods are distractions. Now, the foods that you need to stay with, again, the high protein foods, chicken, beef, eggs. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not saying not to have peanut butter. It's a good fat, but it's not the best way to get your protein because of how high the calories are on every single spoon, But don't get me wrong. Again, I have peanut butter, but almost every night I'll have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, 8, 9 p.m. And I'm good to go. That quenches my, I need something sweet for the day. But for the most part, the rest of the day, I'm very consistent. In the morning, I'll have, anywhere from 3 to 5 eggs, depending on how I feel. Or I'll do 3 whole eggs and 2 egg whites. Boom. I'll add turkey bacon to it, 2 or 3 slices. Avocado is a must. And either I will do like some protein waffles that, you can go to the store and you can buy, you can just pop them in your toaster, or even the protein flapjacks, pancakes, same thing. You can just warm them up and you're good to go. Oatmeal is also the other carb that I like to have. So I pick, one of those and I'll rotate those. Banana almost every breakfast, and an orange or half an orange, whatever that is. So yeah, I still eat enough, and 1 or 2 cups of coffee. That's my go-to. I'll have a protein shake at some point in the day, and then I'm eating, chicken with rice, maybe some spinach or broccoli. I'll probably do that twice a day, and then, I really like the turkey sandwiches. I'll load up a sandwich with a bunch of turkey. Ain't nothing wrong with a slice of cheese, and yeah, cut up some tomatoes. Find ways to get these vegetables in your food so you can eat them. So you're not like, I don't want to eat this by itself. I get it. Nobody wants to say, hey, you know what? I want a snack. Let me eat a carrot. And don't be grabbing a carrot and then dipping it in ranch and being like, I'm healthy. No, man, you just have the carrot, have the ranch on your cheat day or that cheat meal whenever you're going to have it. So slowly take away the things that you don't like. And now a big hindrance in high calorie intake on a normal day is whatever beverage you're having that day. I'm not going to tell you to go get, 0 sugar soda or diet, whatever. That's up to you. But it's still 0 calories. There are a lot of options where you don't really have calories, and people can say, well, they have other ingredients in long term. Yeah, but it's still better than having that soda that's 140 to 160 calories that also has high fructose corn syrup. And don't get me started on high fructose corn syrup. Please do not eat anything if it's not your cheat day with that ingredient. And high fructose corn syrup, it essentially replaced sugar in a lot of these products because they found out that it was cheaper. It's a very bad ingredient. Sorry, little distraction, got a call, but we could ignore that for now. It's an ingredient that they replaced, and they said, well, this item doesn't have sugar anymore, it has high fructose corn syrup, which, they didn't say that until people found out, and it's just the syrup from, corn, and it's an ingredient that is addicting, that can cause you to want more of that ingredient in other foods. Again, do your own research on high fructose corn syrup, but please stay away from that ingredient if you see it. if you're lucky enough to find soda that has real cane sugar, by all means, on cheat day, have that on cheat day. But high fructose corn syrup you can still find in some breads. So be careful. I'm telling you that you don't want that ingredient in your life. They put it in ketchup packets as well. Like, I don't get it. Like, all you fast food places, man, you guys are doing some bad stuff. The government in general, FDA, all this bull crap. You guys are doing a disservice to people. Like, I get it, it's fast food, but still, like, just do regular ass ketchup. You don't need to throw in all these other things. So, if ultimately you can go to a Whole Foods or whatever and have organic food, that's your best option. Organic everything. It's expensive. I get it. Everything's expensive now. That's another subject. But do these things, slowly take away the bad things. Don't do it all at once, because it's not going to last. If you're like, just take everything away, you're going to treat it as a diet. And then after a while, you're going to bring it all back when you feel like you're a certain way, like you feel good about yourself. No, stay like that. You can stay like that as long as you stay with that regimen, the new habits. Let's eat real nice 5 days, Now, I'm not saying eat like a rabbit. If you do, good for you. I'm not saying eat like a rabbit. Still eat enough, but eat healthier. Again, chicken, oatmeal, eggs, vegetables, fruits. You get, steak, red meat. That's all good. Stay away from condiments. You don't need all the mayonnaise and all these special sauces. That's a lot of these special sauces and a lot of your sandwiches take up like 150 calories. Like, that's a lot. That's like 2 eggs, more than 2 eggs. So those little things like that, well, check out the condiments. Well, what am I putting in here? If it's cheat day, yeah, go all out. Do all of that. You earned it. But make sure you earn it by staying on track. Those are the 5.5 days. I say 5.5 days because you're going to have that one day in the middle of the week where you indulge in something. Maybe you like to eat, pints of ice cream, whatever that is, a Ben & Jerry's, whatever. Okay, then maybe you're doing so good on a Friday night, you have a Ben & Jerry's. Then on your cheat day, it is what it is. But ultimately, if you can do all these things and be active and slowly change the way you eat, you're going to see the changes, and it's going to be permanent. It's going to be permanent. I promise you that. I speak from experience, but don't cheat yourself when it comes to putting in the work, not just out there, but in the kitchen. You can take a little bit of time to prepare these things. I don't want these excuses where I don't have time. I got to go to the drive-through. You probably sit in the drive-through for like 20 minutes anyways. So make your food. Stop eating out of a box, and live your life, be happy. If you don't like something about how your life is going, or if you don't like, how you feel, or what you look like, do something about it. The people around you are still going to love you no matter what. But that will also support you in these changes because they know it's going to help you get better. In the long term, you're going to feel much better. You're going to feel great about yourself. And again, it's going to be consistency. It's going to be being true to yourself. We can lie to ourselves all day. But let's be real with ourselves. Do these minor changes, and you will see a world of change. And that was very, it's a good way to end this. But I hope you guys took whatever you could from this video. I appreciate you guys for joining me again. Jesse Infinite 23 on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, even on Twitter. I'll be there talking all kinds of ish, but in a good way. Again, guys, thanks for joining me on this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We are the Infinite Ones. Life's all about the waves. Peace. Say peace, Cocky Wing.